Some of the most remarkable people in this world don't appear on movie screens or in sports arenas. They work in offices, study in classrooms, and raise families at home. They're just ordinary people like you and I. Ordinary people who happen to have experienced something extraordinary and survived. Off the Map is a travel television series I directed and shot over a 12-year period. Unlike most explorer stories, these modern travelers are women. Ordinary women who agreed to be filmed taking journeys to extraordinary places. For the Botswana program, I was joined by my female host, Tinchi. Our intention was to travel west from Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe and Zambia, across northern Botswana to the Okavango Delta and Stolito Hills.
The next day I found myself in the Chobe National Park.
Got a herd of buffalo coming up, consisting of multi-males and multi-females. As you can see, there's a lot of buffalo here. There's males and females. Bulls have got big bosses. As you can see, those heavy horns on their heads.
Oh yeah.
The females are small horns, little curves and hair in between the horns.
To film the different types of animals we encounter, there's a lot of stopping and starting. For the most part, I have to get out of the vehicle, decide whether to handhold the camera or place it on a tripod, record the dialogue, record the animals, get back in the vehicle, and get set up for the next encounter.
That's a male. The only way to determine the sexes on the females and males is they've got a hump. Males have got a big hump here on the front. Females are flat. Also their horns. Some of their horns are worn on the top there, they've got no hair. Females have narrow horns, they've got lots of hair. Some horns have broken off like that one. He's obviously been fighting with other bulls.
Unfortunately, our guide Russell was involved in an accident several years back. He was paralyzed, so therefore had to depend on hand controls to steer his Jeep. As I had to step outside the vehicle to get certain shots, I put my trust in Russell's good judgment.
Those are impala females. They're very common in Africa. Wherever you go in Africa, you'll see impala. There's a herd of about 100 here. They've got little calves as well. The females can prolong their gestation period, which is their pregnancy. There's no food, there's no water around, they'll then move on to an area, and there's enough food and water there, then she'll then lamb down. It's the only antelope in Africa that can do that. There's also one male that owns this herd, and there's a lot of dominance played here because other males come and challenge, they normally don't win. Would you like me to go into that herd feed?
Is it safe?
Well, I can take you and we'll see what happens.
Well,
We'll give it a go.
okay.
Let's go.
What's he doing?
Well, that elephant there is grazing grass.
Yeah, he looks like he's ready to charge us.
It's okay. He'll normally give me some signs and some warnings, and I'll know if it's a dangerous situation or not. He hasn't shown signs of danger or anything, so he's just moving off quietly. So we'll just keep quiet and just watch him. Elephants don't like noise. They work on low frequencies. They can communicate with each other between 3 and 4 kilometers in the bush. Females are known as matriarchs. She controls the whole herd. She'll look after the kids, she'll bring them up just like humans. She'll then bring in males when she wants to mate. She'll kick them out as well. Males don't always hang around with herds.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's quite funny, huh? So it's a very intelligent animal, you know? They're quite graceful. It can be quite dangerous as well.
Early in the morning, the guide for the next leg of the journey, Opie, took me on a Makordo into the swamplands of the Okavango Delta. The Okavango River fans out to create channels, lagoons, and islands. In the rainy season, it covers a large percentage of the Kalahari Desert. Opie, can we stop and take a closer look?
Okay.
This is nice. What's the African name for this lily?
The African name is that call them tree. So just call them again of another names that is easy, call them water lily. It's just digging them up, cook that for the meat.
What do they taste like?
It tastes like potato.
Potato?
Yes. Sometime you try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. In the late afternoon, we came across an island, which became our home for the next few days. We set up our tents, Opie started the campfire, and I prepared dinner. As we sat beside the campfire, Opie shared his talents of animal sounds. At times, it sounded like they were getting replies. Can you do a lion?
Yeah, can I do? This is loud.
Can you do any other sounds?
Yes. Hyena.
Hyena?
Yes.
How about a hippo? Can you do a hippo? The next morning, we continued by foot deeper into the delta. Opie took me to the natives. Opie told me that the natives had a saying, be observant and careful. And if you see 1% of what sees you, you're sharp.
Normally when you go out on a safari, you're in a vehicle, so you have a certain amount of protection. However, in this case, we felt somewhat vulnerable. Again, we would put our trust in our guide, Opie.
Wallabeast.
Yeah. Wolves is not see far. That's why you see them join them all the time.
So they stick together.
Yeah. So and then it's just look the zebra run and then his is run again.
Oh, so the wallabeast looks out for the zebra.
Yeah.
So the hippos stay at this pool?
Yeah, the hippos stay in the pools. So on lake and river.
Oh, yeah?
See the red lychee there? Because the red lychee is not same like impala. It's different. You just look, the color is not same in impala.
It's red.
Yeah. So the red lychee is like that island. Of course, that island, you are near in the water. And then the water is full here. And then you can't walk here. That's why you see the red lychee is many here.
So they like the water.
Yeah, it's like in water.
When the talent is going to have a conversation, I generally stop them, set up the camera, and then give them the go-ahead to have the conversation. After I record that, then I can turn the camera around and videotape what the talent is looking at.
Now it's here to come eat the tree.
Eat the big trees.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 3 of them.
Yeah, 3.
Like a family.
Like family is. Got mother and father and then the little one. See the baby right in the middle.
Yeah.
See the hair.
Just by the mother.
Yeah, it's that one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Saluka, the chief of the Bushmen, also called the Sandmen, was my guide for the next part of my trip in Botswana. He took me to the drawings seldom seen by visitors. We spent the day climbing and searching out the paintings. Oh boy.
Although our guide Salika did not speak English, I was curious to see how Tinchi might communicate with him.
Oh, like the stars. When we got stuck, we communicated with sign language. Zebra. You were born in this village? Saluka took me to his village to meet his family and friends, a rare treat for a foreigner. Masika was my guide through the Kalahari. We drove towards the Sedilla Hills in search of ancient drawings. There's so many different kinds of animals.
Different kinds of animals.
Oh boy, look at them all.
Yeah. Rhino.
Oh yeah, the rhino down here.
Baboons.
Where?
Baboon is on the right side.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, on the right side.
There's a giraffe,
Giraffe. This one here looks like a goat.
like a goat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know how old these are?
They're over 100 years in here.
Yeah. I took a walking tour along the contours of Victoria Falls. It stands twice as high as Niagara Falls and is over a mile wide. This is great.
Yes.
And all this water comes down through here? Where does it go from here?
Going up to Kariba Dam.
And how deep is this here?
111 meters deep.
That's pretty deep.
Very, very deep.
It is fantastic. Dries up sometimes?
Yes, it gets drier in November, October, up to, it's completely, there's no water.
Completely dry.
Completely no water.
The local tribes called the falls Mosi Owa Tundra, the smoke that thunders. Stepping onto an ultralight, what I would call a two-seater dune buggy with wings and a lawnmower engine, was scary, but my pilot James reassured me that it was safe.
With a camera in one hand
felt like
and an air sickness bag in the other, I tried to cover Tinchy's flight the best I could.